Hello everyone and welcome back to Rob Mac Plays here on the Epic Failure server. Today we are going to take a look at a few things here. As you can tell, just leaving the base there. Not much has changed since the previous video, just been unloading things from the farm and charging up some cells. We got the rail entrance here started. We are hopefully today going to be able to get everything set up for the automated process of unloading our capacitors, getting them charged up and getting them back in here. So for now, until we have some more decorative type lights, that once we know what we want to put in here, let's try, I don't know, this odd number doesn't, 1, 2, 6, well, let's just try something like this, just to light it up a little bit. So the first thing obviously is unloading. That's pretty straightforward. Let's get ourselves, I got my little track here. I did do some testing with some item testers. They will test capacitor banks, but they save the metadata. So here on this one where I've got 3.6 million RF in these 4, it did not set off an item detector with this 5 million one. So that's going to help us a little bit when it comes to loading later on this side. So let's first off determine where we want to unload. Now you saw before in here, this is the kind of the walkway into the reactor. There's no actual door into the charging unit, and I'm not sure yet exactly how we'll do that. I have been wanting to keep things in 3x3 chunks so I don't have to load too much. So we'll probably, maybe when we extend out this wall, or we'll do something like that when we decide to cover this. But until then, right now this is just exposed so we can get that work done. So let's go ahead, like I said, first with the unloading. I'm thinking trains are going to come in this way. They'll unload on this side. They'll wrap around. They'll get loaded here. And then we'll just kind of switch track this back. So let's do that first. Let's grab ourselves a switch track. We're going to need a crowbar. Well, we're going to run low on switch tracks today, but we can always make some more. So if we put the regular track going this way, switch track here. That's all we need, because that way then trains will normally just come through here straight if we don't switch this or anything. Trains coming southbound will go straight on the southbound track. As they're coming, will then be westbound. This will divert them this way only, so that will send them back out. So that's what we're going to want to do there. We want to leave plenty of room. We'll have a locomotive, a chest cart, and a world anchor. So we'll have to make sure that we have enough space for that as well in the unloading zone. And I want to make sure that we kind of have some room down here. I thought about doing some passenger traffic in the future, so we'll have to see about that. I also want to maybe align this a little bit better with what's going on here. So we're at 595 is the last one there. Right. So that would be, here's the last one. So maybe if we take this track out here. Now normally you don't use a train lockdown track. It tells you right there, not for use with loaders. The difference is we're not going to signal this with the loader. We're going to need 2 of these. We're actually going to use this. We're going to take the, let's see, do we have item unloader? We'll actually stick this right under here. I thought about, as we use the advanced unloaders, then we'll know that it's completely done, and it can send a signal, the item detector. So that's what we're really going to want to do is, let's grab, let's see, do we have any detectors? Alright, so then the whole proposition of this is that if we have a regular track here, and then this will actually detect empty carts. Let's get rid of something we don't need right now. A little easier when we have that. So we just change this to it detects empty carts. So when we throw a cart up here, and it's got these capacitors in it, and then it's locked down, it gets up here, it gets locked down because the locomotive is sitting here. When we empty this, might be too far ahead now that we can't see that. Let's move that back here just for a second. Let's see how the signal comes on. So that way we'll be able to completely control when it's actually empty. That's when the locomotive will be free to go. Now, the other thing we can try, because it's only this one, I haven't tried this before. What if we move... Whoop. Let's throw some dirt down here. If we throw a detector this way, detecting again empty carts, and then we have, I'm just wondering how far this will work. As we throw this down, that'll signal the train. That should work pretty good. So then what we need is advanced item unloader. Let's see, I wonder if we should put things in the center, and then we can take them off. Now, because of everything we got, it's going to have to be an AE network, but we're actually going to power this a lot more. Let's see, we're going to be able to constantly run power, and I think we can run it right off of here. We'll have to set up our own energy bank somewhere that doesn't. The thing is that when it'll charge these cells, but I think we can work on something to keep the system working properly. So we'll need an AE network underneath then that would take those cells, store it in the network, throw up there, and then take stored cells and put them into an advanced item loader. Then we can specify how many are being sent back and forth. If we want us to do 5 everywhere, then we put the system will load everything it's got, go back, it'll load up 5 and send it on its way. So that should work pretty good for us. So before we go digging up the floor, let's go ahead and set the rest of this way. And since there'll be here, let's not go too far away. For now, we'll go here. And just take this one out. Let's see if I can do this without... Nope, we'll have to take this out quick. Okay, so the premise here then is the same thing. We're going to put this down, put our lockdown track with a piece of track down. I can't quite reach the box. Now we have, when to detect, it has to be filtered exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So that is everything that actually makes the train come and go. And I use the lockdown tracks because it puts the train in idle, reduces the thing. So if we're actually waiting for charge stuff here, then it buys us a little bit of time where the system reduces its fuel use. So that was the easy stuff. Let's see, what did we bring for us? We brought standard loaders and unloaders, which is going to be hard for us. The loader we could do, but the unloader we can't because it's right underneath there. So we're going to need some advanced ones. Let's go ahead and head back real quick. And there's the sun going to set over the ocean. Pretty view there. So let us run back. And if what I'm looking at is probably next episode, we'll actually go through some railcraft signaling. There's a lot of tutorials out there, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but I'm also going to consider this a practical application. So we might have a couple of episodes, kind of like a 2 where we explain it, and then a 2.5 where we actually go into the details about what we're doing. I think right here we have an advanced. Look at that. We were prepared for these, I think. We'll throw these ones up there. Let's go ahead and hop back. I want to keep flying right out this because we still have some of the panes in these upper windows. And you got that Tinker's Construct glass, which looks so nice. Definitely a wonderful view from here too, but it's just, you know, you forget that it's there sometimes. You can just kind of see the line right there. Alright. So, like I said, this is our standard locomotive then. It's going to have the locomotive, it's going to have the chest cart, and then a world anchor with will be stocked with ender pearls so it can load the chunks around it as it goes. So that way they can just constantly go where they need to go. So, and as of right now, you know, our biggest thing is going to be powering the warehouse that keeps the AE network going. So that way we can accept items, and then in the future we'll power the farm. I think we'll do a separate thing for powering the oil refinery area. So, alright, so let's start with our unloader, and that's pretty simple. We just plop it down right here in the this item loader. Alright, and we'll worry about these filters. We know that this one here, capacitor bank filters, only that. Alright? And then we just change these to manual because we're not going to have to worry about that. And we put chest carts because we only want to interact with chest carts. Again, here we just change it to manual because we don't need it sending a redstone signal, only interacting with chest carts. And then that way it doesn't unload the yeah, that thing. It doesn't unload the locomotive. So let's go ahead and take a peek under here now. Like I said, we knew we were going to have to dig some of this up. Alright. And then we just have to determine where everything connects. I like the idea of the office, but we're going to have to bring some conduits in. Let's see, because we're going to have a bunch of redstone laid out here. We could probably cover up some of the conduits. I love that Ender IO. We'll just we can conduit bundle and stuff together, so we could run it out up through the walls. And then I just don't want it. It shouldn't interact with anything we put on top of here because it's just ME pipe. So that should work pretty good. So let's just go right between these two. Yeah, well, of course we didn't make it even, but it doesn't really matter, right? Oh wait, yep, you're in the wrong spot. That's why. Because we'll need. Yeah. So for everybody that caught that ahead of time, thank you. I was bound to catch it sooner or later, obviously, but. If you're like me, you're sitting there screaming on the video, which is, I mean, I do that a lot. It's just like, what are you thinking? Alright, so we don't have to go very far, because we can just use the, oh no, let's see, we can even just go right here to save us the hassle. So we know it's going to be in this area right here. Take out this. So we're going to run that there. So we're going to need some covered in bricks and stone bricks. And then I'm thinking the AE drive and stuff should end up probably in the office because we're going to have some connections here as well, I think. Probably run them like into the ground or something. Or maybe just straight across into the walls and into the office. So we're gonna need a bunch of binder. So let's see. Do we bring? We have some conduit binder, but we're gonna want to be able to paint them too. Let's head back, and I will catch you back at the warehouse where we will take a look at how we can disguise our ME conduit. And welcome back. So the first thing we need to do is we need to build the actual ME conduits. So that's just ME cable and this conduit binder. Conduit binder. We're going to have to make more of this so you'll get to see that. But conduit binder, really simple. You're going to smelt this binder composite, which is just gravel, sand, and clay. But they have done an excellent job of making ME cable this way. I thought that was the way you make it. Maybe I am wrong. Let's see. Is it in here? ME conduit. Oh no, you have to use the fluix dust. That might be a different thing. We weren't planning on that. Let's see if we've got some of that laying around. No. Alright. Fluix dust. We can make some of that. Oh wow, 44 of it. That should get us a ways. Okay, so we'll probably need, I don't know, let's grab about half a stack or so. So let's take 30. And then to build the let's see, this is conduit. Facades, yes. We got 4. Okay, so we are going to need more of this. So let's see, do we have everything here? We're running low on sand. And just so you guys know, sand is not that difficult anymore. I could go sitting there digging it up. That's from compressed sand. Don't have to worry about that. You just crush gravel. Or we can pulverize cobblestone. That's probably the best way to do it. The worst thing is that I don't know how I'm sitting on regular cobblestone, because we've been compressing that too. But we have this andesite cobblestone, which is nice because we'll just throw that in here. We have underground biomes, so that's where we're getting all these things. They a little bit cooler things to build with. But what this does is we can, in a grid, we can just get 4 cobblestone back. We'll grab, let's say, 4 stacks. Run down here. This is why we have everything so close by. Is that a spider? That was. Something's not lit right. Oh well, we'll figure that out. So we go over here to the pulverizer. Let's take this. Let's see. Let's, for the sake of everything, put it in this one, so I remember where everything is. Because we're also going to throw our binder composite in here, and that'll cook up. And by the magic of YouTube, we will have everything in just a moment. And so, just so you know too, when you're making these, you get 4 of these for every one of those, so it's pretty quick and efficient. So there we go. We got now we're at 20. We'll get more of them as we go. But then what you're going to need here is the painting machine. It needs power, but then you just tell it what you want. Like we're going to need. Let's go with 5, I think. Here, and what this is going to do is actually going to paint these blocks to be what color we gave it there, and that's how we're going to be able to do that. It's painted with bricks, as you see. And once that's all set, then we'll be able to use that. That's how we made all these. So we're going to be able, when we have the wrench, we'll be able to see what's going on. Without the wrench, it looks nice and clean. So don't end up like with the farm where we got all those conduits and everything else going every which way. This is nice and simple. So that's those 5. We just take this out. Now we want some stone bricks. I'll put the other 15 in there. And then, by the magic of YouTube, that'll be done momentarily. And there we are. So you can see the last one just finished up. So now we can head back over. And we should have enough to at least get some of the basics set up. We might need to make some more cables and stuff. But so this This will get us the gist of what's going on at least. So we're going to head back. So if there's, please in the comments, if there's stuff that you that you're confused about, got some better ideas for, I definitely like to hear what people think about what's going on. So that's always great when you can let us know. Most YouTubers are like that, I would say, that none of us are so prideful that we won't take a little bit of criticism where it's needed. So, all right, because we're gonna have to get back down here a little bit anyhow, we'll put this one in, and then we'll just take these facades here. We're gonna need one here, here, here. We'll just keep consistent by putting that in there, and then coming up the walls. Can go here. And we just come across this way. So we got a little bit of dirt. We can try and fill in some of the stuff that we... And I just used the wrong thing. Look at that. It'll go away. I like that attitude. It'll go away. Okay, so then when we switch over to having our conduit in our hand, look at that. So we're just right-clicking these into place. That moonstone is always helpful. And that's the one thing I don't know. That'll still look good. Because look, now, just take the stairs that we had, throw them down here, and nobody is the wiser about what's going on over here. So that is definitely a benefit with Ender IO, is how well they do this. An excellent job, because like I said, the only thing that you can tell now is that that's connected to the floor. Otherwise, that's all connected that way. We can even get, let's go ahead and connect the other side right away. So what we're going to do is come down here. That's a conduit facade there. We switch over to our conduit facades. We'll throw those in there. We know that we're going to have to come this way. You can see interfacing right there. That's looking good. There's some dirt. And now both sides are connected, and nobody is any the wiser. So that's going to be the nice thing, because then we don't have to worry about anything else coming in and out of here. Let's grab this. I'll throw that back down. Because essentially we won't need to get in and out of here, because everything will be fine. And we can actually, if we needed to, if we needed the space above it, we could put the conduit facades right over these. Yep. It's all it's energy conduits. So we can, even if we need water to run through here later, we can run water parallel with these. So we can see if we throw these on here. This is the nice thing, is they share. Look at that. So ME conduit and the energy conduit all together. Now taking these off, I don't know if it's just this easy. No, it takes the bridges off. Hey, well, I'm just learning how to do that myself. So here we go. But now we are connected to all that. So that's the start there. And now we're going to need the export bus. We just have a general. We'll have a general import bus that will pick things up from there. Then we'll have like a precision export bus that will bring full ones into here. And I don't think I have those with me. Let's take a look. No, so we need those. So pardon me while I'm writing these down. So we need. This is the planning phase of things. Is sometimes you get things. So we need import bus. We need a precision export bus. And then I think we can call this part complete. We're going to need a ME controller and a chest to connect it into the network. We also need a power monitor from Ender IO, and that's going to be a thing that we'll be able to regulate how much power is in the batteries there, or in the whole system, and that'll also be able for us to send a signal either just to the computer, or you can also have things in here so you can hook it right up to the reactor, so you can turn the reactor on and off with that signal. But we're going to use a computer. So far in the computer, we just have, let me do edit reactor power so you can see. Whoops, helps if I can spell, right? So all I did here is really simple. First line is I wrap the reactor. Second thing then is reactor on function, which just sets it active. Reactor off, which turns it off. And here's where I tested it. I turned the reactor on for 5 seconds and turn it off. Which, let's go see how much, do we have a lot of power in the system? Yeah, we got a little bit of room. We can try and run it real quick. Doesn't matter which one of these we use. We'll just bump this back. Enter and escape. See, the reactor's on. And now it's off again. And it's obviously generated plenty of power because it went up to about between 15 and 16,000 RF per tick. Obviously we didn't need that much to get this back to full. So that's kind of the gist of things. So we're going to need under IO, we're probably going to need some RedNet cable. I'm almost thinking we won't need to this. We could probably do. For in here, we can just RedNet cable right onto these. We'll have to see. I think RedNet cable is forged microblocks, so we could probably do that to hide the cable. I don't think it's working with Ender IO. We can definitely take a look pretty quickly, but RedNet, yeah. No, that's definitely nothing we want there. Housing pipe jacket. Yeah, that's definitely nothing we want. Let's see. Obviously, we know what that is. Uses is our the RedNet port for big reactors. Red note block. Historian. So no, we'll have to. We'll actually have to take the saw and cut down some of these bricks, so that like here right now we just have a hole in here, but we can fix that one really easily. We just throw the facade in there, right? Maybe. There we go. So that's what that ends up being. Is it just looks like it's going right into the brick. And again, if we were to cover these the way we want, then we wouldn't even have to worry about that because everything would be down and covered, and you wouldn't even see that. And we're not going to see that from this side of the room anyhow. We can, like I said, we can forge microblock into some hollow spots and cover RedNet coming in, because we're going to connect that to the computer. Probably on the side, and then go up and into the ceiling with that. So why don't I gather some of these supplies, and I'll be right back.